Hello beautiful souls, welcome to my Bajerski YouTube channel. How are you doing? Sort yourself out, Mr. B. How old are you? You're like a teenager. How are you doing? So, come a bit closer. I like it when you come a bit closer. I need a shave. How are you all doing? It's a lovely day today. This morning I received a few messages thinking about it. You know, for the past 2 decades I've throughout a year I normally get blasted about maybe 30 or 40 times a year. Yeah, maybe twice a month, a couple of times to 3 times a month I get blasted. So I call it tested. I get tested. What on earth is that on my hands? So sorry, I'm working with crystals. Like seriously, look, crystals over crystals, crystals everywhere. It's my job. Get the ladies in. So anyway, I'm just about to work on some oils now. Best-selling oil actually has still been the cleansing oil. Funnily enough, it's fabulous. Where are you? Cleansing oil, you're there. Amazing stuff. Mind-blowing. You know, like this morning, somebody's having a go at you, somebody's attacking you again, somebody's like calling you again, you know. This time it was a psychic medium, a famous psychic medium. Kid. There's a few of them around the world. I don't know what it is, this ego. And when I was asked to be called a psychic medium by, bless her, Shirley, I said, I don't want to be called a psychic medium. I'm not a psychic medium. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. Yes, you are, Mark. You're a healer. You're a psychic. You're a psychic. You can attune to spirit. I said, I'm not. I'm not like them. I'm nothing like them. And the reason why is because, like, I've been asked to do TV work. You've probably known me say it a few times now over the years. I've been offered some great positions, where I could have probably wrote a book and it become a bestseller after the show if I'd have done it. But it never sat right. It never felt right. And I had my time on TV. I did Blind Date. I went on and funnily enough, I was asked to go on by Paul and Yvonne. Go on. No, go on. You'll be amazing. Go on. Okay, I'll go on. Actually, at that point, I was single. I'd split up from my wife then, and it would have been really nice to have met somebody. And actually, I was actually gutted when the screen went back, and I knew it weren't going to happen. You just know these things. So I was blasted for speaking the truth, and yeah, I said things I wish I hadn't said, some wonderful things that I said which weren't aired, you know. So you realise that it's all a con. TV is a con. And I've told you about this before. If you've never met me before, I've been asked to do, I gave you a for instance, on a rock in Spain. A company asked me to do a show, and I said, what for? And they said, well, to do go in there and, you know, tune in on the spirit and talk to them, and it should be for what? What for? Anyway, I said, if it's for something, you know, important, if it's to do something, then I'll look at it, I'll see what it's about. I says, but predominantly I'm not interested in the screen, but if there is something that needs doing that hasn't been done, which my work was helping spirit transition from a place of, I don't know whether it's a duality, I don't know whether it's a different consciousness, I don't know, it's difficult to say, but I call it spirit trapped in between two worlds. I also call it spirit in denial. There's a reason for that. And I explain that through a lot of my books and videos that I've done on here. Anyway, when you soon find out it's all a show. It's all showmanship. And actually, it's a con. Most of it is a con. Sorry to say, guys, but most of it is a con. It is. It's a con. So, when you say to the director, why are you sending me a script when I'm meant to be a psychic to go in and attune to this energy? You're telling me who's in there and don't you know what psychic work is? You've got to follow the contract. Even my first mentor was going to do a show, a big show. And then she saw the contract. She actually showed me the contract. And she said, look what they do. It's all scripted. It's all scripted. And if you can't tune, you will script. You will continue this filming through the night or the day. Because it's money. You have to pay for the TV. You have to pay for the vans. You've got to pay for the lighting. You've got to pay for everybody who's there. And that's tens of thousands for a night. So you're going to get it right. And if you don't, you will read the script. So it's a con. What on earth do I want to go onto TV and do that for? What for? Is it ego? Well, it would be. So when these so-called psychic mediums start having a go, I just think, just stop. Stop being stupid. Grow up. But when people start to point fingers and say, that I'm dark because I go places and do things that seem dark and the spirits, the good and bad spirits, it's so easy to judge. It's so easy to criticize when you don't know what you're talking about. So I came into this field of work when I was 38, a late starter. And I'm proud of saying that. Two reasons really. One, because you're never too old or young to start a path of something new. And secondly is that I wasn't born with a gift from my mother or grandmother. We're all born with gifts. We're all born to attune. But whether we want to attune and whether we want to work at attuning or whether we're slightly open more or not, or whether I can throw a ball better than you, or whether I can swim better than you, or whether I can carve better than you, or whether I can dance better than you, because I was born with it. My mother had it. My mum was a good dancer, so am I. My mum was an opera singer. I can't sing for toffee. Just stop. Stop it. It's ego. So, at 38, I got pulled into this field of work. Was I interested in it before? No, I went for a few readings now and again. But it was just more of curiosity. And because my mum passed and I wanted to see if she came through and, if she was there. So I was open to it. But I got to be honest, I didn't trust many people. Still don't. Too many scallywags. So, especially in all fields of work, there's good and bad. There's scallywags in every field of work. So, I sat accidentally in circle. I thought I was going to sell some actually hematite bracelets. Can you imagine? I had hematite bracelets. And I used to sell them because they were a great seller when I had a shop. I had 4 shops in England. I had Exhibit, Cheap as Chips, Huddersfield Auctions, Libra Furnishings, Sharky's Fish Bar. I did a lot. I was a little bit of an entrepreneur. I wasn't brilliant. I wasn't a millionaire, but I enjoyed my life. I had market stalls. Loved it. I had great fun. I had life, as we say in Yorkshire. You had life. I did. But still, deep down, there was something missing. And I wasn't that happy deep down. I used to dance on tables. I used to dance at nightclubs. I was a dancer. I was a professional dancer. You've heard the stories. But still, something wasn't right. Something was missing. So I ended up selling everything and coming over to Spain. When the pupil is ready, the teacher appears. And with such synchronicity, teachers appeared. I didn't go looking for anybody. Met one on the steps, lived next door to me, didn't even know. Psychic Queen of Ireland, didn't know. No idea. And she came for a reading because I was doing like little readings at the time. Didn't even know what I was doing. I just got these cards from a shop down the road here which went bust. And the shop happens to be an angel shop, angel card shop. Sold everything in my shop apart from a set of angel cards. It's a great story. In fact, everything that I've been through is a brilliant story. And they're all in my book, Diary of an Accidental Psychic and Seeing the Invisible. The stories are in there. Genuine, true stories. Mind-blowing stories, heart-blowing stories. So much truth in them that you can feel it. No bullshit, just real stories. I don't need to dramatize it. I don't need to exaggerate. It's truth. It's just simply truth. And the truth, when it's powerful, knocks you out. Wow. You can see the difference between ego. People trying to impress. I'm a psychic medium. Listen to me. Okay, great. Well, I guess there's an audience for that. So I sat in circle. Thought they were all crazy. Nuts. Until I closed my eyes and started to feel something that I never felt before. And because my wife then said, you're being a lot better this week, you've not been as angry, upset, go back again. So I went back for her. I didn't want to be upset and angry. Thought about it and thought, yeah, I'll go back, even though I thought they were crazy. They were lovely, but a little bit cuckoo. Oh, very windy. So the second time I saw something and I had the courage to tell them what I saw. And they were kind enough to tell me that's what they were working on, a beautiful man with a white beard, white hair, 60, 70 years old, smiling. And they said, wow, okay, this is what we did. We were sending healing to this man who had white hair, white beard, and for the first time smiled because his granddaughter blew bubbles in his face in hospital and he smiled. So you were tuned to that. Wow, really? Wow, really? Really? Okay. No, nobody as confused as me at that time. I'm like, what is all this about? You know, what is this? I wanted to know. I wanted to know if there was more to life than eating, drinking, sleeping and working. Most people don't want to know that. Most people say that's enough. It's a challenge just living. So I'm going somewhere with this. You need to hear the whole story if you want me to, explain to you why it kind of bothers me when somebody says something like that. If you're a true psychic medium, what is the purpose of being a psychic medium? That's the first question you have to ask yourself. What is the purpose of it? Excuse me, who are you? I'm a psychic medium. Okay, what does that mean? Well, I speak to your family in spirit. Okay, that's nice. Is that it? Yeah. And how do you connect to the family in spirit? Do you feel them? Do you hear them? Do you see them? Are they in the room at the same time? If the answer to that question is yes, then has there ever been a time that you've felt spirit in that room that may not be quite the same as the spirit that comes through from the spirit world? What do you mean? Well, there's a difference, right? Also, you don't know there's a difference, or you do know. Okay, so you're saying that that there is a darker energy of evil and demons and bad spirits and all of these things, right? That's what you think. Well, maybe there is, but there's also something else. There's something called trapped spirit in denial. What is that? Well, I'll tell you what it is. My experience is that it's a different energy and it feels heavier. It does. And it's not quite the same as the spirit world, because the spirit world comes forward with peace, love, joy, happiness, even though they can tell you certain things that were sad and down and upsetting, just so that the family can understand who's come through. That's how they tell you. They share that information. But there's also another side to this, and that is when you walk into a house and somebody says to you, you know what, Mark? I've asked you to come here because something's not right. I bought this house about 6 weeks ago, moved in. Something feels wrong. Something feels odd, and we're not happy. We're not happy, and my little daughter's not been able to sleep and she's been screaming. Or my son is seeing things and crying at night, saying he's seeing somebody in the house. Well, Mr. Psychic Medium, what do you do with that? Because what you're saying is you turn away and leave all that and you don't want to go near that. But surely there's room for people to help with that situation. Just because you don't look into that. Maybe there's other people that have to do that to help. So there were many a times I'd say, I don't know whether I can help, but I'll try. So I would ask the people to leave the house or move into another room, and I would just sit there, close my eyes, put my music on, and meditate and just feel. And you soon get to understand the difference between spirit that comes forward from the spirit world and spirit that's stuck, trapped, in denial. And it's a different frequency. And yes, if you don't truly understand it, it does feel heavy. And yes, spirit trapped in between two worlds can influence. Yes, they can cause happenings in the house. I've seen many happenings in houses. Cracked mirrors, music coming on, water in a bed. How can that be? Because the top of the bed is dry, but underneath is all wet. Little things that they can do. Tricks, influences. Oh yes, they can influence us. They can attach, they can enter. Yes, they can. Does that make them evil? Well, what do you do with that, Mark? I'm a psychic medium. Don't deal with that. It's none of my business. Keep away. Sorry, your kid's going to have to scream all night. You're going to have to go crazy and sell the house. Or maybe, just maybe, give this guy a little bit of credit instead of saying that I work with darkness. And maybe what I actually do is try and help somebody trapped in between two worlds to bloody go home. Do you know how difficult that is? Do you know how, if you're a psychic, if you're a medium, if you're a clairvoyant, tell me I'm wrong. How hard is it to help spirit back into the light when they're stubborn, when they've done terrible things in that life that they had and now they're stuck? Takes some doing. Have I been able to do it consistently, and have I got 100% track record? Damn right I have not. So what did you do, Mark? Sometimes I was able to help spirit transition from this world to the other world, and I've explained how this works. And the best way to explain it is as a little naughty child. If I've done something wrong and I go home and I'm about to open my door, I know my mum and dad's in there and they've had a phone call and somebody told them what I've just done. What does it feel like going through that door? How long do you stand outside waiting before you have the courage to go? It's the same feeling. And I pick that up when I'm speaking to spirits. So once you get that and you realize that there's a fear when they go, what's going to happen to them? They're going to burn in hell? No, that's just a religious thing that keeps everybody suppressed, keeps everybody dumb. So, okay, I'll try and communicate, and I'll try and help them, and I'll ask for spirit to come forward to help. And sometimes, just sometimes, the tears that overcome you as a healer when you have that perfect divine moment when spirit comes forward and helps them back home, it's incredible. What they leave behind is part spacesuit. It's a residue of this world that they've held on to. It's hard to explain. It's not the full suit that we wear, but there's a residue that still keeps them there. It's a dense energy. That's why it doesn't feel loving and kind and flowing. It feels heavy. It feels very heavy because of the burden they carry. So once they've moved back home, it's a beautiful feeling. And then the mother says, Mark, my daughter slept through the night, or my son is no longer screaming at night. The house feels clean and I'm so grateful. And then there were times I'd go into churches, pubs, clubs. I've told you about many of these things on my 1500 videos. And I couldn't get the bugger to go. I couldn't get the woman to go. I couldn't get the priest to go, and I needed help. And sometimes the intervention of spirit was so powerful, but sometimes not. And sometimes I had to figure out other ways. I can't do this, but there is something that has been used by shamans for many years, by, Wiccans and healers, and it's called sage. Can I sage? Sure, do anything you can to try and help. Okay, so I'm wafting around with a stick. Still there, Mark? Yeah. Something feels wrong. I'm going to break this stick up. And I'm going to get my other 3 sticks and break them up. And I'm going to burn them and I'm going to blow. And I'm going to make this room filled with smoke. And then I'm going to go to the next room and the next room. I'm going to go into every cupboard, toilet, bathroom, garage. I'm going to get all the doors shut. And I'm going to make this house fill with so much sage smoke that the spirit ain't going to be able to go anywhere. And then it's gone. Mark, it's gone. Wow, it worked. That's where I went wrong. I wasn't giving enough smoke. It's the smoke. And it is. So I learned these things. My point being is that was a natural process. I wasn't born with a gift, but everything that I've been through up to this moment has led me to where I am, to work with oils, the most beautiful and powerful oils in the world, to work with incense and sages and Palo, Santo, all the things that worked, to work with crystals that worked and helped in so many aspects of this spiritual path and journey that I'm on. So let me ask you, the finger pointers, the judges, where were you when spirit needed your help? You think I do this because I do it? I do it because spirit asked me to help. The spirit world asks me to be somewhere. The spirit world leads me to places where I don't want to be able to help with a little girl trapped in between 2 worlds because her father accidentally killed her and her twin sister's waiting for her, trying to help her, but she's stuck. Shock, fear. And finally, if you were trapped in between 2 worlds because you finally found out at the moment of moving back home That all your ego, all the likes, all the fame, all the fortune, all the wealth, all the look at me, I'm amazing. You realise that actually, shit, oh dear, that wasn't what it was all about. And yes, I did a good job because I helped connect family and spirit with people who grieve. That's nice. But maybe the fame thing takes over and you're frightened to go back home because of the ridicule you think you might get, which is not true. But then you become stuck in between two worlds. Now I ask you, would you be happy with somebody like me coming to try and help you back home? Because in between two worlds there is no space and time, which means you could be stuck there in our understanding for many, 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 many years. So the next time you point fingers at people like me who do the work behind the scenes, behind the camera, because the most important thing is not our face and not how wonderful we are, but actually to do the bloody work. Just food for thought. Sometimes, just sometimes, you have to go in that space where darkness resides to help clear that darkness and bring light back into those circumstances. So don't knock us. And think about what you say. And maybe, just maybe, if you're watching this, probably not, you probably went ages ago. But if you are, if there's a chance that you're still watching this, maybe you might start to change your thinking. And maybe you might start to help spirit in denial, trapped in between two worlds. Those that you see as evil and dark, and because not all spirit is dark and evil. And yes, there are entities and there is darkness and there's all of those things. But there's also something in between. And that's where I worked predominantly. And I was proud of my work. And yeah, there are times that I'm walking in the middle of the night, freezing cold, saying, why me? Why do you keep asking me to do it? I don't want to do it anymore. But you know, that's the work. That was my work. Like many other people who do the work, who do this work. So it's just food for thought. Sometimes, just sometimes, it's better keeping your gob shut if you haven't walked the footsteps of a true healer. No, I'm not a famous psychic. And God forbid I never will be. I'm just a normal guy who shares my truth to help others see and to become strong and powerful. I don't share a gift that we all have so that people love me and want me to be their answer and to give them the information that they need and rely on me. No, I saw that at the beginning of this, made my stomach turn. That's why I didn't want to be called a psychic medium. I fought with it. The reason why I kept that name for a while is because they said, but you do the work, Mark. Surely you should be standing up for the word psychic medium, the words psychic medium. And to a degree, I say, okay then. But what I've seen is this need, this God complex. Look at me, listen to me, I'm amazing, I'm the only one. No, you're not. We've all got your gift. We've all got that gift if we want that gift. So when everybody who used to say things like, oh, you're great, Mark, I'd say, you're great. Oh, thank you for healing me. No, you healed yourself. Thank you for connecting me to the spirit world. No, you did that. You did that. You made this happen. You created it. Now continue to create it. Don't come back again. Get out that door and start to sit down in nature and meditate. Open your mind and feel your child in spirit. Feel your little pet in spirit. Feel your mum, your grandma, your partner in spirit. They're there. They're there. It's up to you now. This is your moment to connect. You can connect like any other psychic medium. And don't be fooled, and don't let them fool you. You have the gift. So that's my message today. I'm going to get back to work. Have a lovely day, guys. I hope you've enjoyed some of the videos over the past year. I hope you've learned. I hope you've grown. I hope you've got something from the videos and you feel as if you don't need somebody, but actually that you are your gift and that no one has the power over you. You are your guru. You are your teacher. You are your mentor. You have everything you need within. It's just reawakening all of those things. Unlearning everything that you've been bombarded with the nonsense. Finding that peace and stillness. And within the stillness, you'll always find the answers. And if you enjoy what I share, then you're always welcome to all the videos that I have free. And if you want to progress and you want to go deeper like I did, then this year I have 8 beautiful courses, online, interactive. And it's a beautiful course. It's called the Pure Energy Healing course. You learn so much. And you love crystals, and I have the Pure Energy Healing Crystal course. And it's a 4-day course, and you get to learn everything that I have experienced, and I share everything with you in those 4 days to expand your knowledge, to expand your understanding, giving you different understandings, different wisdoms, experiences, tests and challenges, because it does. Fabulous. It's what we want. So maybe, just maybe, one of the courses are perfect timing for you. And if not, keep watching the videos. I'll keep putting them up and I will keep giving free information all the time, because that's who I am. But just some people want to become a practitioner. And thus I created 2 amazing courses with the amazing Layla Satie. So, have a beautiful day, and thank you for going to markbajerski.com, and thank you for popping over to the Pure Energy Healing Academy and checking it out. Take care.